All right, let's just record this. I missed a video today or yesterday. Um, it was my dance recital, I guess it's called. Is the performance? It's the one I've been working on for a month now, a little bit over a month. Um, I started taking dance lessons, and when I started taking dance lessons, I said, well, what's the point of just taking dance lessons? Uh, you should challenge yourself and try to perform. And so they set up a routine and they had me learn the routine. And today was the final route for me to dance it in front of other people. I had danced it in front of the class last week, but um, it was important. It's important. I think the biggest. I have a list of things, but my phone's still loading up, so I'll look up at it in a second. I think the most important thing is a lot of people came up to me and complimented me, said, "Hey, man, that was your first time dancing, doing a routine. It's the first time dancing in front of people. Dang, you're pretty you're amazingly comfortable. Yeah, wow, great. Oh, so fantastic. You're so great." The thing about it is, to be perfectly honest, it's not like it's my first time dancing after class, taking lessons and dancing in front of people. But it's not. But I don't I don't want people to think I'm like some sort of super savant or like amazingly talented or even um that they're not good enough. The big thing I'll take away from this, or I want people to know, is like it's not like I've never been in front of people before, right? It's not like I used to do a video game show. We did like a panel at PAX in front of people before. In high school, I did a couple talent shows where like I did the Chinese yo-yos so it's not like it's completely like I'm some super like genius at doing this. That's one. Because and I used to play DDR. I used to play DDR. I'd go to the packed arcades. There'd be like 7, 10, 20 people standing around waiting for their turn. You'd have to get up in front of them, bam, bam, put your like little coins in, and everybody would be like, "Oh shit, here they go!" And then you die. Sometimes you would like pick a song that was too hard, or you would be nervous because everybody was watching you, and it's a song that you pass all the time, but for some reason you didn't pass it this time because you got nervous. And then when you got nervous and you started screwing up, then you made more mistakes and it just all tumbled apart. So I in that way, I think I was well prepared for this. Like that's one thing. It's like when you make a mistake, the best thing is don't stop. I don't know if you guys ever watched Produce 48, but in Produce 48, the Japanese students always just kept going, whereas the Koreans froze. Some of the Korean students froze and then didn't continue, and that's the worst thing you can do. It's beautiful because I made a couple mistakes last week. I see it's best too because I have my eyes closed right now. That's why I loved wearing these shades during my performance because nobody could see what I was looking at. Like a lot of times I was like this, and I had my eyes closed, and people had no clue, you know. But it made me less self conscious about. But here's the thing: last week, it's really important. I performed in front of the class. It was great because I made some mistakes, and then I realized that like when you make mistakes in front of the class, they don't actually know you made a mistake because they don't know your fucking choreography. They don't know how this dance is supposed to go. So as long as you keep dancing it and keep doing stuff, fucked if they know. They have no clue that you messed up, and so you just go on with it. And I remember there was a time where I was a little bit early, and I was like, I'm early, shit. And then I just I just danced around a little bit until the cue came up, and then I did the scuttle, the butt scuttle, But nobody knew. Everyone was like, "Oh, you seem really natural on stage." I was like, "Oh, well, I've actually made a lot of mistakes, but whatever." And so I think that's the most important thing. Practice. I learned a lot of good lessons from practice, like when I was in tennis, and also it transferred into dance. Is because you want to make mistakes. You want to make mistakes in practice, because when you make a mistake in practice, then you're like, oh crap, okay, that's wrong. Let me do it the right way. Here's how you do it the right way, right? Nobody can do it perfect every time. I remember when I was playing DDR, I was trying to get my brother into playing it, and I was like, hey, you should come play DDR with me. And he was like, no, 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 David, no, no, no. If I'm going to play DDR, I would just practice at home, and I'd practice and I'd practice and I'd practice until I get perfect. And then when I get perfect, then I'll go out there, and then I'll play in front of people. And I'm like, dude, that's not how it works. Like, that is literally the 100% opposite of how it works. Because if you stay at home and you practice it, let's say you get it perfectly down 100% at home, when you go to the arcade to play it, or when you go perform it somewhere else, dude, everything changes, man. Like, when you're out there, the music's going, the music not as loud. Like, I in practice, I practiced with like headphones on, so the music was like blaring right in my thing, like, I get on stage, I'm about to dance. The music hits. It's like bum, 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 bum. Somebody goes, woo! All right, David. Throws you completely off, and you just. I went into this performance being like, look, dude, if you mess up, you're not gonna. I knew I wasn't gonna mess up. I knew I wasn't going to have a monumental, cataclysmic failure. I just wouldn't let myself do that. I might mess up and kick myself in the own ass for screwing it up, but I knew I wasn't going to have like a complete mental breakdown, because, I've been in this situation before, and I wouldn't let it happen. But like, for me, I was like, worst case scenario, you screw up and you go home and you're like, okay, you screwed up. But I mean, what's so great about dance lessons right now and being with this class is that everybody's so like supportive of everybody, like, there's this understanding among everybody there. Like, whether it's your first time, it's your 30th time, like, it takes balls to get up there, even if you're doing, what you think is the most easiest routine or whatever. You're up there in front of everybody else. You're already like on that second tier, right? You're putting yourself out there, and if anything, you should walk away from this experience being like, dude, I put myself out there, bam, and then that's great. That's I knew at least I was getting that out of it, and even better. And this is exactly how it was with skydiving too. Every time you come to a point, you're like, dude, can I do it? I don't know if I could do it. I made I trained it in my mind. Every time I started thinking like, oh God, I don't know if what can I do this? Maybe I'm not prepared. I'd always just like not physically, literally slap myself in the face, but it would just be like a face slap. Like, David, the hell are you saying? You got this. Like, oh God, I'm nervous. But no, you're not. You're not nervous. You're excited. You're excited to go on there. You're excited to go out there and dance, And it's the same thing with like when I was trying to go do the skydiving. It was like, oh God, I'm nervous to go up. No, you're not nervous. You're excited about the opportunity. I don't know how to teach this to people, and it took me forever, because I'm 38, almost 38 years old, and I just finally started getting to the point where I have control of myself on this. Is the from negative go and just changing it to positive. It took me almost all my lifetime to figure this out, and I'm sure it's not still figured out. I still get nervous. I still like, oh, what am I doing? No, you know exactly what you're doing, and it's always a process, man. It's always a process. Sorry, let me grab my notes real quick, because I had a couple more notes that I took, and I think one of the things I like most about dancing, especially these acting sequences, man. Like, it's fun, man. It's fun to go up there and just act like, because dancing is like acting too. You have to, convey yourself, make facial expressions, do all that stuff, and I think it's acting, but without the whole like like emotional or anything. It, it's like a universal language kind of thing, right? When you dance, I remember there was a comedy show on in Japan, and I remember I was watching the comedy thing, and it was a bunch of duos talking, 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 and they were trying to like it was like an elimination thing. So like one group would get eliminated, and the next group would go, like all the other groups would go on, and then like second or third tier in, there was a comedy. They had to make people laugh, but they couldn't talk. So like all their humor was based off of like not talking, and that shit was the funniest shit because even though I didn't speak Japanese at the time, like it was still funny because universally, it's like a universally understood concept, and I think that's how dance is too. Is when you're up there and you're dancing, you're making your faces. Like people look at you and like, oh, okay, I can. He's telling a story, and I can tell the story just by how he's dancing. Great. Or even the music too. You listen to the music, you can tell it's upbeat. You can tell it's angsty, whatever. You can tell it just by listening to it. You don't have to know the words. So, I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, I don't want to say that's the end of my dancing career because it's not. I've taken. This was just the first section. Where I go from here, I'm really not sure. I'm really, really not sure because it seems like there's so many possibilities, so many different styles, so many dances. Like, do I go back out and perform again next month and try to set up for another dance? I don't know. I really, really, really don't know. So, I definitely feel like dance is like this long-term relationship. It's something that I'm going to be doing, like on a weekly basis, like me working out, 2-3 times a week, going in for a lesson or going to try to learn stuff, and then I mean we'll see what happens. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe competitions. Maybe just I don't know. I know that. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun, and I just want to push myself. I kind of don't want to dance in front of people, but I mean that's just me coming right off of it and being nervous to do it again. So, yeah. I'll post the dance maybe after this, so maybe you can watch it. Hopefully it's good. I haven't watched it yet. I don't even want to watch it. So, bleh. Bye.